Aaron's bedroom makeover. Aaron is my boyfriend. I was really surprised to see that he actually had matching bedroom set furniture. I mean, how many guys in their 30s have matching bedroom set? It doesn't really reflect him today and his personality. Aaron, like me, is in the architecture profession. All day he's designing professional client work, and then he comes home. The last thing he wants to do is work on the design of his bedroom. So I said, don't worry about that. I've got it. I'm taking it over. Yes, I did get permission to do this. He is not asking me to do this. This is voluntary. He's appreciative, but he did not ask me. This bedding is staying. I upgraded his bedding a couple of months ago. He had actually picked out this that he liked, so I got it at a great deal. The comforter sets from Target. Pillows, the Euro shams, and their little circle are from West Elm. This is the only thing really that's gonna stay how it is, I think. Behold the pile of clothes on the floor. When Aaron does his laundry, he just leaves it in the laundry bag. He has a lot of shirts and like pants that he'll rewear, you know, because one time he didn't get it very sweaty, so he's gonna wear it again. When he's going to rewear them, he just throws them on the ground. Kind of the reason that he throws all of his clothes on the ground is because his clothes chair is overflooding. This dresser has old hardware on it. It's not really working well. So the dresser drawer falls out. Maybe I can fix it, but also I think we can replace this. Aaron's closet, actually pretty tiny, right? His method of doing laundry is he washes his clothes and then he hangs them to dry in his closet on these plastic hangers. After that, he doesn't really touch them. When they're dry, he puts them closer together if he needs more space. Aaron benefits mostly from hanging space. While he doesn't mind putting things on a hanger, he's not gonna fold something. He's not gonna sit there and match socks and put them together nice in the drawer. He's gonna dump all the socks in the drawer. But he will hang his clothes on hangers. So I think if there's a way we could get Aaron more hanging space, he might actually benefit from that. Before work from home, quarantine, can't leave the house, safer at home, this wasn't really a place that Aaron ever sat. He didn't work at his desk. No real need for an at-home desk because he's working in an office. And if he was gonna do more work, what he would do was take his laptop out into like the kitchen or the living space and work out there, because I don't know, I know. He didn't have a chair for this desk. The chair that I just spun around in was borrowed from his office, as well as this whole setup. Like, this is not normally here. Well, I don't know. New normal. I think we're gonna keep the desk. You see this lamp? I kind of like really hate this lamp, but I don't know if we have it in the budget to get all new lamps. Lamps actually run pretty pricey. Lighting is gonna be a big deal in his new bedroom makeover, but I might need to keep the space and then just do a new shade for the lamp. I have some fun ideas in mind. Is window treatment. Right now, his room is dark on a regular basis, and that's because he has these curtains, which his bedspread used to match these curtains. So cute. His window is facing the east, and so in the morning the sun rises. You know it's morning time, the sun's waking you up. So it's very important that he has something. It's not just a sheer here. He also has vertical blinds. I haven't quite asked him the story behind the vertical blinds. I don't know if he just doesn't like the aesthetic. I mean, who does? Or if they weren't dark enough for him. We're gonna get an all new window treatment. We're gonna get rid of these vertical blinds while keeping the track in place. I think it's gonna look awesome. It's really gonna transform the room, make it dark when he needs it dark, and then it'll be easy to make it like light and airy when he really wants that light coming through. So what are our restraints here? A couple of things. Don't wanna like hang any shelves or a new curtain rod or anything that's going to go into the drywall. Aaron's building has some minor construction issues. They have drilled into the drywall in a couple places and it's rotted. Most of what we'll be doing is with furniture, and then then also lighting. Lighting is something that is very important to Aaron. He loves adjusting mood lights. He got some fun party lights recently. So I want to bring that into his room. So not only can he make it dark and light, but also can really play with ambiance with the lighting in his room. Now, changes, mainly the rearrangement. I want to take his bed away from the side of the wall and move it into the center of the room. So it's a real adult bedroom. You're not just a kid shoved in the corner. You got a big bed in the middle of the room. I also want to get him 2 nightstands. Right now he just has one little side table on his side. I have a cup on the floor. So he's gonna get 2 nightstands, but not only that, I want to give him storage in his nightstands. Right now, his nightstand doesn't have any storage, so I have some dressers that I'll be making over that will be his nightstand. Aaron's bed is really tall, so it's really gonna look nice with his tall bed. Now, I want to swap. I think if I get his buy-off and his help, physical help, I want to swap the dresser with the desk. Since the bed is going to the middle of the room, I want to bring the dresser immediately across from the bed, then swap the desk and it'll be over by the window. So, you know, nice light. And then big dresser, I think we're gonna get rid of homeboy. From IKEA, I got 2 different types of curtains. The first is a room darkening curtain. It is called the Rustoleum. So it is not a true blackout curtain, it's just gonna make the room darker. Aaron wanted to have like a sense what time of day it is, to not be like, oh wow, is it 12 a.m. or 12 p.m.? I can't tell because it's so dark in my room. That's not what we're going for here. I got this in gray. It comes in a 2-pack. It's 2 for $14.99. I purchased 2 packs because in total we'll need 4 panels. I didn't want the curtains to pull so tight that it just looks like a sheet hanging on the wall. We want them to drape a little and, you know, look kind of flowy like curtains, even when they're closed. And then I got my favorite curtain from IKEA, which is the Lil. I actually had this in my bedroom. It's my favorite curtain for a couple of reasons. It's so affordable. Year round, they have it for $4.99 for a 2-pack. It's 110 inches long. So if you have 9-foot ceiling, this is a good curtain for you. You don't need to hem it. This fabric, it does not fray when you cut it because it's like a netting. You can just cut it off at the length you need it to be. Just hang it up, check the length, take it back off, cut it to the right length, and you're good to go. Super easy, super affordable. The first thing I'm going to do is wash this room darkening curtain. They're washable. However, if you hang your curtains and you don't wash your curtains, and then later you decide you want to wash a curtain, they could shrink and become high water curtains. To avoid that, the first thing you do is wash your curtains so they shrink. They're as short as they're gonna be. This is gonna hang long and we're gonna need to hem it, but before we hem it, we can shrink it and we might not need to hem it so much. So today I'm putting up Aaron's new window treatment, and that's gonna start by taking down what he has now, which he has on like a rod just kind of over the track. This is a valance to vertical blinds, and it actually just is clipped in, so it'll pop right off the track, and you can take this thing down very easily. Next up are the actual like vertical blind, and it's super easy to take these down too. They're actually just clipped right here, so you just pull them out. All right, I take it back. It's not as easy as a valance, but it's not that bad. There, see? Just gotta get the hang of it. Okay, so the only thing left remaining from Aaron's original window treatment is the track for the vertical blinds. I took off the valances and I took off the individual blinds. And now what we want to do is hang curtains on in front of those vertical blinds. We're going to use the track that's already mounted on the wall, and then on top of it there's this little bracket. It's called a NONO Bracket. I've looked to see if like other brands have anything similar, and I haven't found anything. And what it does is it sits on top of the vertical blind track, so that way you don't have to drill new holes in the wall. You can just use the track that's already up there. So this piece is adjustable, and I'm just going to adjust it all the way so that it fits securely on the track. There we go. It works now. Aaron and I hung the curtains up. I marked off how much I need to hem. Now, I don't have like a sewing machine or anything. I'm going to sew it together with this fusey tape. And I've never done this before. You iron it on so the heat will fuse it. I hope this works. This would be a lot easier if I had sewing pins, but again, I am just disappointing my mother all around, I'm sure. I'm just kidding, I don't think I'm disappointing her, but it's unbelievable I don't have sewing pins. This is a fabric marker. Disappearing ink. You gotta work fast. Okay, so I finally figured out the trick to this, and that is to go just a little bit at a time. So I have the bottom end of my curtain. I start at one side, and I've just been doing like, strip size of the ironing board each way. So I press the opposite side first, and I've only been doing the hem on one side just because it's super annoying to do it and then do it twice. So I think it's sufficient, but I haven't hung the curtain yet, so who knows, it could just all fall apart once it goes up. So I cut like a piece this big, and then I pop it over here. Actually, before I do this, I'm gonna go ahead and it's bothering me. Gotta iron out the crease. I'm gonna flip this lip back and then take this piece and just set it under here. Hit it with the steam. And you'll see it kind of shrinking up. And this is how it's tacking to the bottom piece, the bottom layer. So it's adhering to the bottom piece of fabric. And then I flip over the top and I press for 10 seconds. Okay, and then press again, just the length of the strip you want to press. And then I'm going to iron this out. And then I move on. And I am not the best at this. I think, again, it would be better if I had pins or something, but it's doing okay. So I'll see how bad it looks when I like actually hang up the curtains. As you can see now, it is dark outside. It took me a very long time to do these curtains. Actually, I hemmed the curtains with the tape, and when I put them up, they were a little too long, so I had to take them all back down and hem them again. Well, the good thing about not sewing is easy peasy, just rip it right back out. Just iron it again. Now I'm pretty happy with the length that they are. I think they look good. I'm excited. When I first did it, I was sad. But now I'm happy because sometimes you just gotta do it twice. If you know what you want and it's not right yet, just keep going. Next up, the shears. What I'm gonna do is take these little, they're called Rictig clips, and I'm gonna shove the ring up inside the piece on the track that was holding the vertical blind. Then I'm gonna clip the shear to these rings. Put the shear up, measure where it is, take it off, cut it, and then voila! So we're in the garage. Please excuse the less than ideal audio and lighting situation. There is a pipe that is running above me and making hissing noise. For Aaron's nightstand, I am making over 2 dressers that were originally from IKEA, but I purchased them on Facebook Marketplace. This one is the very well-known IKEA MALM. It is a wood veneer, and it's larger than this one, which is the IKEA KULLEN. This one is a laminate. They're not going to be twins, they're going to be siblings, but I think they're going to look good. So what I'm going to do is start off by sanding the wood veneer down with a medium grit 320 sandpaper. Just like I sanded the MALM, I am also going to sand the laminate KULLEN. With this, you don't have to sand with the grain because there's no grain. Okay, so now I've roughed up the surface of the dressers a little bit, and my next course of action is going to be to prime it. The reason I'm using a gray primer instead of no primer at all, or a white primer, is because these are 2 different shades of dresser. We have the lighter colored dresser and the darker colored dresser. And so I'm hoping that this gray kind of brings them to the same level in the priming phase before I come on with the finish coat. Because I'd like them to look pretty similar in color. They don't have to be exactly the same, but I think if I gray prime both of them, there'll be a more similar finish coat when I'm done. So for the drawers, I was able for the MALM to take the drawers out of the dresser. And so I flipped them upside down, and I've just kind of put plastic wrap and painter's tape over the back of the dresser so I don't really catch a lot of overspray. Or what I really do not want to do is paint the hardware, because if I put paint on the hardware, it's not going to function the same way. So this is my effort to prevent overspray on hardware and anywhere I don't want the paint. Now with the Kullen, it's going to be a little tricky because I can't take the dressers off of the dresser without entirely disassembling it. I'm not sure if it'll last being taken apart and putting it back together again, just because it's a pretty inexpensive piece of furniture. So I think it'll be safer to keep it intact in one piece, so I'm going to have to be very strategic with how I paint it. Okay, so my dressers are primed, and I think they look pretty good, pretty close to the same color actually, so I'm optimistic about how the final finish will turn out. But before I finish it, I am going to go over and sand it again, wipe it down with a damp cloth, and then I'm gonna attack it with some Rustoleum Ultra Matte Chalk Spray in Charcoal. Dries to a chalky smooth finish. Let's see how we like this. Sunny California, not so sunny today. It's pretty dark out. I've been waiting for the sun to come out, but June gloom, what can I say? I finished painting the dressers yesterday and I gave them a final top coat. So next up, I have removable wallpaper, and I am going to affix these to the front of all of the dresser drawers. That is the plan, and then I will probably spray it again with the top coat. And then after that, I have to add the hardware for the legs and they'll be done. So today we cleaned out Aaron's closet. We didn't want Aaron's room to be made over but not be made more functional for him. I actually recently did a closet clean out myself just a couple days earlier this week, so now I am a pro. These are my tips for getting rid of items in your closet. If you don't wear it, you're not going to wear it, get rid of it. If it doesn't fit, get rid of it. Whatever is out of season, out of style, and you're not gonna wear it anymore. If it's like not really fashionable anymore but you still like it, that's cool. I do that too. But if you don't like it anymore, get rid of it. Someone else might really enjoy it. So when I talk about get rid of it, where does it go? Rather than bagging up all of your stuff and driving it down to the Salvation Army Goodwill, I would recommend doing a little research on how you can take your items directly to the next user. So when you take your donations to a thrift store, they have to inventory them and put them out on the floor, and then they get sold at like a price, and they benefit from that, so that's good for them. However, they get so many donations that a lot of the items that you donate don't even make it out on the floor. They don't even get a second life. They're just going like into a landfill. There's a couple of ways you can repurpose your items for good. Something that I have enjoyed recently, it's called the Buy Nothing Project. You find your local group on Facebook. You are donating, giving free items to people that are in your neighborhood. You just like post pictures and people say, I have a need for that. And if they don't need it, use it, they pass it on to other people in the group. It's a great way to meet your neighbors too. And you know that your clothing items are going to get worn. You didn't just throw them in the dumpster. They're gonna use it, and when they're done with it, they'll pass it on to other people. So it's been a few weeks now since you've seen the inside of Aaron's bedroom, and let me tell you, since then we have gotten to work. We finished another piece of furniture, we added the lighting design as well as artwork, you know, those final finishing touches that just help the room come together. We are so excited with how it turned out, and I can't wait to show it to you. Let's take a look. One of the first things we reimagined about Aaron's room was the layout. He originally had his bed in the corner of the room, and we moved it to the center. And what this did was create a more symmetrical space, as well as forming natural function zones. So over here by his closet, he has like a dressing area. And then over by the window with the natural light and his desk is his work area. And so moving the bed, rethinking the layout, naturally created a new hierarchy for the space. The color palette that we started with in Aaron's room was very monochromatic, lots of different shades of gray, and it varied mostly by texture and pattern. So we knew we wanted to introduce color in the room in a way that was cohesive to the overall motif. And the perfect opportunity for us to do that was with the large-scale artwork above the bed. Now, often large-scale artwork like this can cost a lot of money. However, we did this on a budget. We ordered a tapestry from Society 6 and wrapped it around a frame that we built ourselves. It's very easy to do. We figured it out twice already. So follow my tutorial on how to make your own large-scale artwork on a budget. Aaron's design aesthetic is a lot of thin, overlapping lines, graphic, illusions, and so when I saw these thank you cards, I thought we could take them and put them up in his room. So we found scrapbook paper and created interesting compositions that we framed for his wall art. This is another example of inexpensive artwork. It's a movie poster for Star Wars that we actually got for free when we went to the premiere at the El Capitan. A movie poster itself can look kind of college dormy when you put it on your wall. However, if you frame it with a mat, it elevates the look. So I knew I wanted to introduce some very unique light fixtures to Aaron's space, but I didn't really know how I was going to do it. And then I spotted these lamp fixtures over by the dumpster in my building, and I snagged them, made sure they worked, and then spray painted it gold. And the lampshade is actually paper that I folded like origami style to make the shade. And so the entire lampshade cost nothing but a coat of spray paint. So this lamp fixture is another dumpster find, spray painted gold, but we wanted to make the lamp shade for this one different than the others so that they were similar but different. So I learned another fold of origami to create this little guy. And finally, we added the pendant above the bed. He didn't have really good overhead lighting in this space, so this is just a swag pendant that is plugged into the wall. And the fixture itself comes flat from IKEA, and you just bunch it up and make it cool and cloud-like. The coolest part about this is, hey Google, turn on the lights. We got smart bulbs, and so now we never have to flip a switch, we just ask Google to do it for us. So while we're making this a smart home, Aaron also invested in some smart plugs. Hey Google, turn on the fan.
Okay, turning on fan.
Voice control is very nice once you start using it. The furniture in Aaron's bedroom is actually very custom. So this nightstand was originally a dresser that I got off of Facebook Marketplace secondhand, and I painted it. I added removable wallpaper to the drawer faces. We installed gold feet to the bottom to elevate the dresser, and then we also installed these gold edge pulls. Now, the edge pulls were originally white and inexpensive from IKEA, but we spray painted them gold so they went along with the other gold accents in the room. This headboard was part of Aaron's original furniture set, which you might remember had a wood grain finish. It did go with our new color scheme, and we painted it a nice semi-gloss black, which really modernized the look. We also added 10 inches of height so it fit more proportionally with his very deep mattress. With Aaron's dresser, we use color to challenge the heaviness of the piece. Just like we use gold legs to elevate Aaron's nightstands, we painted the base gold to visually elevate his dresser. The same principle applies to the mirror. We painted it gold so that it appears lighter. We also swapped out the hardware for new, sleek, modern pulls, which visually update this piece. You might remember Aaron's clothes chair in the corner. I took it away from him. I told him he couldn't have it anymore, but I did provide an alternative. Clothes baskets. So now if he's got clothes he wants to rewear or stuff he doesn't want to fold, he can just toss it into the basket, and it looks a lot nicer. It's kind of hidden from view, but it serves the same purpose as that chair. Like many people, Aaron is now working from home, so we wanted to designate an office-type nook in his bedroom. The wall art above his desk provides a visual distinction of his office space from the rest of the room, so you understand it's a separate area, but it still ties in with the rest of the decor. He also has this nice natural light from the sun, and he's got a great background when he needs to make a conference call. Do you hate messy cords? Me too. So a good trick is to take a little Velcro piece and use Velcro to secure your cords to like legs of the desk, and also tying up real nice by the extension cord so you don't have a big cordy spider web out there. We replaced Aaron's vertical blinds with some nice operable curtains. So we took down the vertical blinds but left the track and used a NONO bracket to attach the room darkening curtains on the outside. And then we took down the individual vertical blinds and put up this nice sheer. So now he can have natural light but still a layer of privacy. This project started off with budgetary constraints because funds are tight across the board these days. However, we thought it was important to invest in our home because that's where we're spending all of our time right now. The primary goal with Aaron's room was function. We wanted to make it work well for him, especially with his new work-from-home office environment, so he could be at his desk working and not bogged down by all the clothes on the floor. We also wanted it to reflect his personality and design affinity, so it just feels good to him. We looked at what was working and what was not. We repurposed items and we supplemented with secondhand pieces of furniture. With a clear design intention, we played with texture, pattern, and color to create a unique and cohesive space. You don't need a lot of money to make over your space. I believe that boundaries and limitations drive creativity. So don't hesitate to do a room makeover even if you don't have a lot of money to dedicate to the project. You know what? Just take a look at items you already have and think about how you could reimagine them. You could paint them, take off the hardware, remove the drawers, remove the doors, remove the handles, add some legs. The possibilities are endless. With goals and a clear vision, a little patience, and a couple of cans of spray paint, you can totally transform anything.